started off observing. She kept to herself her wording. She saw the need for a friend indeed to all of those deserving. She travels the world through your eyes. She listens and sometimes cries. She wants to know what makes you whole and cares without disguise. According to Leanie, she welcomes you here. A laugh, a song, sometimes a tear, a friend, a foe, a stranger. Your life story, your moments of glory. You're sad, you're happy, your dreams and your worries. She wants to know the ins and outs of all of you here. According to Leanie, according to Leanie, she welcomes you here. A laugh, a song, sometimes a tear, a friend, a foe, a stranger. Your life story, your moments of glory. You're sad, you're happy, your dreams and your worry. She wants to know the ins and outs of all of you here. According to Leanie, she wants to know what it is all about. According to Leanie, you're welcome here while we all just figure life out. So sit back and yak, smile and laugh, have a couple or two. Leanie is coming on right now and she welcomes you. Let's hear life according to Leanie. She started off observing. She kept to herself her wording. She saw the need for a friend indeed to all of those deserving. She travels the world through your eyes. She listens and sometimes cries. She wants to know what makes you whole and cares without disguise. According to Leanie, she welcomes you here. A laugh, a song, sometimes a tear, a friend, a foe, a stranger. Your life story, your moments of glory. You're sad, you're happy, your dreams and your worries. She wants to know the ins and outs of all of you here. According to Leanie, according to Leanie, she welcomes you here. A laugh, a song, sometimes a tear, a friend, a foe, a stranger. Your life story, your moments of glory. You're sad, you're happy, your dreams and your worry. She wants to know the ins and outs of all of you here. According to Leanie, she wants to know what it is all about. According to Leanie, you're welcome here while we all just figure life out. So sit back and yak, smile and laugh, have a couple or two. Leanie is coming on right now and she welcomes you. Let's hear life according to Leanie. She started off observing. She kept to herself her wording. She saw.
Oh my God, those hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Hold on, let me get these off screen. There I am. Hello, Lainey. Hello, y'all. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it so much. Do me a favor. Hit the like, Hit the thumbs up, hit the thumbs down. We really don't care around here. Just let the algorithm know that we're over here in case that one or two people in the world need to know that we're live. Let me give a shout out to everybody in chat. Hey, Mary Jane, thank you for being here. My mama, Miss Barbara Smith, Aussie True Crime. Hello, hello. So good to see everybody. Sunshine, my Idaho friend. Welcome, sister. Sean Ellis, aloha, you sexy beast. Who else? Lulu Cooey, sister. I get the winter blues, but never the summer blues. I've got the blues. I've got the blues. Y'all, I'm exhausted. I'm just plain out mentally and physically exhausted. But I had to cancel my Coburger Live because I just didn't make it home in time, and I knew I wasn't going to. So I want to say that I'm grateful to Maggie for jumping on and doing a live. I hope you guys had fun. I know you did with Maggie. And a big shout out to Jay Badass for getting on panel and co-hosting this afternoon. Good job, girls. It's so good when you know people that can fill in, you know? You guys don't always have to wait around for me. And there's people that I really, really trust to jump on this panel and hold it down and just respect what we do as a channel together. So thank you to those ladies who are amongst that group. I appreciate it more than you guys know. And I'm sure you guys appreciate it too. It's always nice where you have somewhere to go that you feel at home. And for some people, this is home. Well, welcome in, everybody. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. There's so much to say, so much to do, and I'm just wore slap out. Is Melly Joe here? Oh, there's Melly. You're in the bushes listening. Okay, you're away. Well, welcome, Melly Joe. I hope you're having a great time. A great time. Sunshine says winter is so long. I agree with you that, but the problem is becoming that we stay freezing, right? It just takes so long to warm back up. But instead of doing it gradually, no, we go from 30 degrees up until 90 degrees. And that's crazy. I mean, there's like barely any days in between where your body can just get used to the different temperatures. And so I don't know. I was out in the heat a lot. It was 95 degrees today, and where my in-laws live. And I was out in the heat a lot today, and it just wore me slap out. I was like, after we got home from the doctor's appointments before, and his therapist was coming out, I was like, I really would love to stay up and do therapy with you, but no can do. So I was like, I got to go lay down. That heat just zapped the hell out of me. So wherever you're at, if you're having these, I mean, the heat is just going through the states like crazy. So if you're having a bad heat time, I pray that you've got some good air conditioning to get under. And for those that live down under that are freezing, I pray that you are warm with your fuzzy socks and your fuzzy robe on. Sean says, did anybody hear about Martin Kove, aka Sensei John Kreese in the Karate Kid? I did not. You talk about the movies or the new movie or the series or the old movie that came out? Curious to know. So I wanted to come on because I missed you guys. I missed us all being together and being dumb and cutting up and normalizing what it's like to be a middle-aged woman pissed off all the time. Well, at least that's me. you start getting snow the beginning of November until April. Yeah, that's a little long. But I feel like on a good Indiana year, that's what happens to us too. There's been many times I've taken the kids trick or treating in freezing temperatures where it's snowing and raining. So, as you guys know, I have been busy at work all week, and my job is over in Ohio, so I drive 2.5 hours one way to get there. And then I work all day, sometimes all night, day and night, and then come home to get up and do it all over again. And I want to give a huge shout out to the matriarch of this channel. She has had to put up with me for days on end. She's up in the middle of the night when I am driving home, and she has made sure I have pulled into my driveway before she gets off those text messages with me. She's been my rock. In fact, my son was so upset with me the day before. Yeah, or maybe it was yesterday. I can't remember. It's all run together now. And he's like, Mom, you didn't call me last night so I can make sure you're okay. And I was like, don't you worry about it. Miss Barbara got me home. And then I had to explain who Miss Barbara was. And then he's like, oh, tell her thank you so much. He said, but at least leave me a text message. So Miss Barbara has been taking good care of me over text messaging, and I just appreciate that so much. She's always there for me to talk to. She's a wise counsel to me. She gets me, she understands me, and she listens to what goes on in my head. And that's, if you don't have someone in your life like that, you got to get on my level. Just don't take mine. Can't have Miss Barbara. So sorry. That one's mine. Sean says, no, he bit another actress on the Cobra Kai series while at a cast convention. Her name is Alicia. Wow. What a dummy. Is he related to Tyson? I hear Tyson's into fighting people, or was. You do have to guide me home. You're my beacon, and I appreciate that so much. RC, the Godfather, has stepped into the building. Welcome, welcome, my friend. Welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank everyone for being here. I appreciate it. So I've been working out of town with my Huckleberry, my Huck, my oldest son, Wes. And y'all, he's been so good to me. I mean, he knows I have a bad back, and I do things a little slower now than I used to, but I always get it done. And, you know, he's just been fabulous as a boss to work for. And so I've been doing, I did it 4 or 5 days last week. And one of those days I stayed over 24 hours at the place because I wasn't going to leave my kid who was struggling to get through some things. And so there's that. But that job is all, it comes in increments every 17 days. So for me, that looks like I work like every 13 to 17 days. So like for 4 days straight or something in there at the end. So this starts the new 17 days today. So, and I'll have like, for the most part, a week and a half, 2 weeks off, and then I'll go in at the end and I start doing all the remodeling, cleaning. And it's a hard job, you guys. You got to clean up all that paint off the floors and plaster and caulk and weird see-through plastic sticky stuff and sheetrock dust. I mean, it's a job. It's a job. But I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful that I get to spend a little bit of time with my kid in the meanwhile, even though he's running all over the place. Sean says he bit her so hard marks were visible and she called the police, but he was never charged, but he apologized for it. Still, he was warned never to do it to her again by a police officer. And he said Martin Cove, being 78, is stupid full and can consider his acting career over. Well, hello. Maybe it should be. I mean, maybe it should be. And then, of course, we have Koberger Lives. We have done it for 21 weeks straight. Today's the first day that I've actually had to cancel one. I think I might have canceled one prior to. I know there haven't been very many that we've canceled. And it was because Beefcake actually had to go into work today. He couldn't work from home. He had meetings all day. So I went and took my father-in-law to his doctor's appointments, hung out with my mother-in-law, and then napped at their house because I was so damn tired. But I'm glad I hung out for several hours today because I was able to get an understanding. The good thing about not seeing him every day is that when I go back, like every 2, 3, 4 days at the most, I can see if he's declining or if he's getting, if I can see any improvement. And I don't expect to see much improvement until his surgery on July the 3rd. But I can see decline or improvement in his, if he's able to walk and things like that. And y'all, he was in a better mind frame as far as he wasn't as confused. He has dementia, but he was able, he must have asked me, and let me not exaggerate this for you, probably 11 times. And my mother-in-law went to the store. She was gone about an hour and a half, probably about 11 times. In that hour and a half, he asked me how I like living where I live. And I didn't get frustrated with him because, I know what that's, I worked with those types of patients. So I just kept answering like I'd never answered him before. But his mobility is even more. In fact, it's even more bad. In fact, he had brought it up to my mother-in-law many times today while I was there. He said, I just don't understand why I'm getting weaker and weaker. And then at one point he asked her, am I ever going to get better? And I just listened to her to see how she's responding. And she said, well, I guess that's up to you. And he said, no, it's up to God. And I was like, they're in the right headspace. So that's good. But the big thing, I guess, that I had to figure out is that, I got to sit down for an hour with Beefcake with no interruptions of my dogs or our children or his parents, because they had already gone to bed. So before I came home, Beefcake had gone over from work because he's been staying the night over there. And I was like, look, I said, we can't keep doing this. Like we could, but it's not making it any easier on you. For me, yeah, I go for about a week, and then at least I could take a couple days off and recharge, right? He hasn't been able to do that. And so I was like, look, we already know the outcome. The outcome is he's going to come out of the surgery, we know for sure, on a colostomy bag. For those of you that don't know, he has a mass in his colon that is being removed on the 30th surgery. He's also got 2 broken vertebrae and 2 fractured ribs from falling, because he falls all the time. And they were going to it's like some kind of cement thing that they put between his vertebrae to keep them open because it won't heal. It hasn't healed. So they're just kind of cementing them to where it just, anyways. That's what's supposed to happen. Well, then my mother-in-law decided she didn't want that done at the same time that he was doing his colonoscopy, not a colonoscopy. He's having that mass removed. And so she called the doctor, and the doctor agreed with her. He said, the surgery is going to be a lot for him to come back from. And we know for sure that he's going to be on a colostomy bag for 3 to 5 days, depending on how well he does, with the possibility of him staying on the colostomy bag. So I told Beefcake, I said, look, I said, we have to do something by the fall, because, I mean, when the fall gets here, we never know what kind of weather we're going to get, if it's going to stay hot, if it's going to turn off cold or whatever. And he's like, he said, our house is too small. And I was like, no, you're just not thinking of how to make it work. I said, I've already got it worked out in my head. I said, it is going to require you to kind of move around. You're the only one really it's going to be affected, because Beefcake has his office and his own TV and his own furniture and everything in there. And then me and the dog stay in the front room that's by the door, so they can come and go. And, so we've got our little system that goes on here. Well, I told him, I said, it's going to require you giving up your office. And I said, we will make that into their bedroom / living room. It's going to be like a little apartment in there. And I mean, it's got doors on it, so you could close it off for complete privacy. And I said, it's going to be like a little studio apartment with access to our kitchen. And because my father-in-law, you guys can't even go to he can't make it to the bathroom with or without help. Do the dogs fret when you are not at home, according to Leanie? No, they could be left alone for quite a few hours. But see, well, Bonus Child started a new job, so he's gone all day now. But it used to be that Bonus Child was here, but I always leave the TV running so the dogs can hear stuff, because that's when animals go crazy. If you leave home and there's just quiet, they're not used to it. So I leave the TV on for them, and they have access to the backyard to use the bathroom, and their water. I just make sure their water's fresh and they have food. Usually they'll wait until I get home to eat, but they're fine. If I'm gone for up to even 10 hours, they're fine. They don't tear anything up. They don't mess anything up. They're great dogs, great dogs. So I just feel bad, so when I come home, I mean, all they want is love. So I sit down for about an hour with them, and I go outside with them. I'll throw the ball, even if it's at nighttime, I throw it. I play with them, I give them treats, and then to bed. So they handle that really well. But anyways, I just told Beefcake, I said, we're going to have to break down your office, pull everything out of there. I said, we're going to make that into like a studio apartment for him, because my father-in-law cannot even get out of his chair and sit at a bedside toilet. Just stand up, pivot, sit back down without being completely out of breath. Like, can't breathe, turns completely gray. It's terrible. It's terrible to watch. So I told him, I said, we don't have to worry about him going and using the bathroom. He's already doing it that way here in his house. And then either I'll give him a shower. That's going to be a little awkward at first. I've given many people showers, but when it's your father-in-law, that's a little bit like, I think it would be more awkward for him than me, because he's just my aging parent and he needs help. I mean, I don't look at it but I would think I'd be embarrassed if one of my boys came and gave me a bath. So if he's not comfortable with that, then we'll get an aide to come in at least 2 times a week, hopefully 3 times a week, to give him a shower. And we have 2 bathrooms that just have walk-in showers to them, and then my bathroom has a tub. So I mean, it's set up here that they'll be more comfortable here. Beefcake can stay home. At nighttime he can go back to work, at least 4 days a week. unless, he's got, my father-in-law has appointments. If I can't take him to him, then Beefcake will have to take him. Get down, little girl. So I think after surgery, we're going to have to figure something out. Hey, Wild Angel, does he have an oxygen concentrator? No, him nor his wife, my mother-in-law, are on oxygen, and they both need to be. And I keep telling her that's why she can't. Her body, she's in great shape for being as old as she is, but she has COPD, so she can't walk from here to the kitchen without totally being out of breath, So I asked her, I was like, first, why are you? I was like, I don't understand you. I was like, you can call and have your groceries delivered because she has trouble walking. And she's like, I know. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, why aren't you on oxygen yet? Because they're both on nebulizers and rescue inhalers and stuff like that. And she said, it's not time for that yet. And I was like, okay. And then from my father-in-law, last time he went to the doctor before all this happened, he wasn't this much out of breath. So I'm pretty sure that he's in heart failure. He's going to meet his new VA doctor tomorrow. And it's weird because the VA had some blood drawn for them. I think Beefcake said 2 days ago. The blood work came back this morning, and the doctor had the nurse call and tell them that there were 3 abnormalities in his blood work. And so they were going to need a stool sample and more blood work and some urine done. And Beefcake is the one that has to talk to him on the phone because my mother-in-law also cannot hear at all. She reads lips. She has Meniere's disease and it is taking her hearing. So so she can't hear him. It's a whole thing, you guys. It's a whole thing. So anyways, Beefcake called the hospital, the VA, and said, look, you guys must not have gotten all the records yet. He's due for surgery on the 3rd because there's a mass in his colon. So that's probably why that blood work didn't come back right, because they know about it. So then she said, hold on. And she went and talked to the doctor. The doctor told her to tell Beefcake to still come on Monday, because that was one of the things that he wanted to check on that came back abnormal. But there are 2 other tests that they ran on him that are abnormal as well. And so he's going to need to see him anyways. Y'all, I think he's in heart failure. It's the only thing that makes sense. He has COPD too, but it's the only thing that makes sense to me, what's going on here. And I just feel like there's a break in communication. He's got so many doctors and they're not working well together for some odd reason. And there's a break in communication. That's crazy, Leanie. If you are low on oxygen, your brain doesn't function. That's right. They'd feel much better if they took oxygen. Yeah, and the problem is I can't make them do anything, right? Can't make them do a damn thing. Wild Angel says, gardening away, been windy, rainy, hot, humid, sucks. 5 days post-planting, sweet potato, slips potatoes, and watermelon all grow in bags already. I think you're telling us that they're growing already. Hi, Ann's Place. Good to see you, honey. Thank you for coming in. When your brain shuts down from lack of oxygen, like drowning or hanging. Yeah, I got you. So it's been a mess. It's been a complete mess. And I think for them to be comfortable, because they're too scared to be alone. Oh, I'm sorry, Anne. I'm so tired, girl. I'm so tired and worn out from everything. But ain't it so good to see you? In the long run, in the short run, in whatever run we've got, I think it makes more sense for them just to move in with us. Now, getting to doctor's appointments, it's going to mean more time on the road, but I mean, it just is what it is. They're scared to stay by themselves for good reason. And, Beefcake needs to come home. Worn out, but still determined. Right on. Angel says, filled 5 grow bags last live, went to plant in the rain. Started, but I'm really tan now. Oh, I'll bet. Well, you'll have a beautiful garden and a lot of good vegetables. My youngest daughter, we were over there last weekend for my grandson's 3rd birthday. Her garden is gorgeous, and Beefcake and I haven't been able to do anything outside other than just keep the grass cut. That's it. I planted a few flowers, just I didn't even put them in the ground. I just planted them in the pots. And that's it. Usually we do quite a bit of work outside, but there's no time. There's no time. But I do have some good news for those of you that haven't heard. Found out on Saturday that I'm going to be a grandmama again. My son and his wife are expecting their, drum roll please, 5th child. They've got 4 girls. What do you think they want? Lulu says, does the U.S. government give you a payment or allowance to care for your loved one? We can get a CARES pension here, but it isn't too much to live on. Well, he is VA, so yes, I just have to figure out how that works. I have to figure out how it works. Thank you so much. Yeah, they want a boy, but it's like I talked to him this week and I was like, are you guys going to be really depressed if you have another girl? And they were both like, no. I mean, we're already girl parents. We know how to do, it'd be neat to experience a boy, but we've been doing girls for so long, 16 years exactly. She said that it would just be a whole new thing for us. We got girls down pat. So they've got 2 16-year-olds. They've got a 7-year-old, a 6-year-old, and they got a baby on the way. And she's already almost 20 weeks, you guys. So she's due in the middle of November. She's due like mid-November, but she always has cesareans. So she'll schedule a week prior. But it was so funny because it was at my grandson's birthday. God, it was 100 degrees, and that's no lie. And we were all sitting underneath the shade, and it didn't even feel like 100 degrees because the wind was blowing through those trees. And it was hot, but it felt really good. And I watched my son and his wife walked in, and I was like, oh. And I was sitting next to my oldest daughter, C, and she said, what? I said, is Ashley pregnant? And she said, I don't know. She said, why do you think that? I was like, because that's her pregnant body. She shows everywhere. And she was like, I don't know. Ask her. I was like, no, because if she's just fat, I don't want to ask her if she's fat. And so I was like, I'll ask Huck later, right? So then they mosey on over, and we're all sitting around and underneath the trees and stuff. And I got up to move away from everybody to go smoke, and I had turned around to look at him. And my daughter-in-law says, so how far along do you think I am? And I was like, oh. And I was like, oh. And I walked over and I hugged her. And I said, and then I told her everything I had told C. And I was like, but I didn't want to ask you in case you were just getting fat. So I knew that's the first I had seen her. And I was like, why are we just now finding out? And she was nervous because she's older now. She's 37. And so she wanted to make sure, that she and baby were doing fine. And then my son wanted to hide her out until she was born, until the baby was born. And just sent out a message with the baby's picture on it. You know, welcome to the world, baby Buxton. Oh God, I just doxed my kids. But anyways, and I was like, well, that would have worked until August, because in August is when most of my grandchildren's birthdays are. So we have an August 2nd, we have an August 10th, mine is the 12th, we have a 22nd, we have a 24th, and we have a 25th, all in August. And that's not even my sister's birthday as well. No one cares about August, Nabes. All right. Well, I have to care because a lot of money comes out of my check in August, Nay. So you shut the hell up. Leanie going to be in Indiana Dunes National Park in July to meet up with Beachy. She is buying a Baja from Corey. Is that far from you? Not sure where the dunes are, but I feel like nothing's really far. It's got to just be a couple of hours. We'll see how things are going with my father-in-law. Be loving to meet you and Beefcake for a barbecue, a campground, or lunch on the lake. Yeah, that would be nice. We can't even plan a freaking vacation. I put my foot in it before congratulating someone when they had a baby 5 months prior. Felt terrible. Right. Can't believe the grandkids don't adopt them. They usually can't keep No, and you know what? My oldest granddaughter, who's 16, the oldest one, she is always FaceTiming me. Always. I mean, that youngin', I hear from her more than I hear from any of the kids. She has always got me on FaceTime. And she never said a word to me. I also had their two littles, the 6 and 7-year-old. I had them for a full day last week. Neither one of them said nothing. Everybody was top secret. But they're all super excited about the new baby. So, but the problem is my kids have them in twos, not twins either. So they have, like, they've got two 16-year-olds, and then they got a 6 and a 7-year-old that just went to school. And I was like, so you guys going to have one after this? Because you always have them in twos. And neither one of them said no. They just said, well, we'll see. So it wouldn't surprise me if a year after this baby's born that she's pregnant again, because she always has them in twos. Thank you so much. So and the last night I worked with, last night when I said goodbye to my son in Ohio, he's like, hey mom, he said, come and stay the night with my kids. I was like, for what? He said, because I got to be back here at 5:30 in the morning and my wife is on call at the hospital. And he said, he calls them the babies. I call them the littles. He said, I don't want to bring my babies out at 5:30 in the morning. I was like, that sounds like a you problem, because I got to be in the in-laws' house in the morning to take do hospital visits. And I was like, it'd be easier for me if your kids just came and stayed the night with me. He's like, they don't want to stay the night with you. They say you're boring. I said, well, I don't want to stay the night with any of you either. So what are we going to do about that? He's like, I'll just take my kids to work. I was like, good thinking. Good thinking. Poor National Park, knowing Wild Angel and Leanie be together there. Chaos be happening when they get there. That's true. We would be very loud. Lolly, hello, you sweet lady. Good to see you. Guys, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. I really don't care. That's the God's honest truth. Just let the one or two out there know that we are live. It would totally be a blast. You guys would hear Wild Angel laughing the whole time, and me telling Beefcake and Bigfoot to suck it, and me doing a lot of cussing probably. I don't know. It would be fun though, for sure. But I will see. It's not a no. Uh, Wild Angel, it's not a no at all. Just let you know, my father-in-law's having surgery on the 3rd. So let me just see how all this goes with them. And I think at some point that week, Baby Child moves into the same week of the 3rd. Baby Child moves into his senior house. And I even had to say no to my kids for getting together for the 4th because I'll be at the hospital. I find out the 9th of July when daughter has hers. They think it will be a week later. Oh, how awesome! Congratulations, Aussie. Do you guys know what it is? My kids aren't finding out this time. They're going to bring number 5 in with a surprise. In fact, I keep sending over boy names that I like. I really thought it, and you know, there's only been two of my grandkids, 2 out of 10 that I had no clue what that baby was. I called all the other ones right. And when I saw my daughter-in-law walk in, and I was like, is she pregnant? I was watching her before she came over to me, and I told C, I said, if she is pregnant, she's having a boy. And she was like, how do you know? You know that for sure? And I was like, I'm not God. I said, but she's just carrying this one way different. It looks way different to me, even though that is her pregnant body. But she looks way different. Lolly, my oldest son, is having his 5th. So I think what it is he always makes sure that he has at least half of my grandchildren. Listen, if he could, he would have had 12 kids. He just would have. If he didn't work so much and she didn't work like she did, then if they made enough money where she could have been a stay-at-home mom, he would have had as many kids as God would have given him, just because he's always wanted a huge family. She's always wanted a huge family. Kids is what they do best. They're great parents. But it wasn't in the cards. Oh, that is Beefcake's favorite name. Wyatt. Oh, I can't wait to tell him. The boyfriend left, so I get to go in again. Oh, I've never, in 10 grandkids, I've never got to go in. Never. Never got to be in the room when they've had babies. Because my oldest daughter had a cesarean. My son's wife, she's had cesareans. My second daughter, who had her first baby 3 years ago, she just wanted to do it just with her and her husband. And I understood that they waited 10 years. They had infertility problems, and it took 10 years for them to get blessed with the baby. And so they wanted to do it together, and I totally understood that. So she left me in charge of her dogs at home. So I didn't even get to see my grandbaby until the day they brought him home, because she had 2 huge dogs that aren't as good at being left alone as mine are. So she was worried about her dog. She said, Mom, please, I'll take care of the baby. You take care of the dogs till I get home. And I was like, all right. "10 years. Yeah, she's lost a lot of babies. A lot of babies. They must have been so delighted when she fell." Yes, it was so weird because they went through all this stuff for the first 8 years. Babies, 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 losing babies, losing babies. It was terrible. That finally she quit telling me when she was pregnant because she was just going to lose it. So we thought, right? Well, what she didn't tell me was she took a year off from trying. And I quit talking to her about it because it was just too painful for her. It was too painful for everybody around. She just quit talking about it. And she didn't tell me, y'all. I mean, that girl, she was so obsessed. She had a calendar hung up in her bathroom. She knew exactly when she was ovulating. And yes, she was that wife that would call her husband at work and tell me to get home that she was ovulating. I feel sorry for men like that, even though most men are like, hell yeah, let's go, one for free. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's got to be stressful. I couldn't imagine being a man and have to perform because I'd be like, oh fuck no, like no, 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 I just can't. But men aren't like that, thank God. So she kept getting pregnant. She couldn't carry for whatever reasons, had all the tests done. There was never anything wrong. Nobody could find nothing wrong with her except for um, something was messed up in her blood wasn't clotting or something. So she gave up for a year. She threw the calendar away, threw everything away that she had, and gave up for a year. And then when the new year came, she told her husband, she said, we're going to try the hardest that we've ever tried. She said, and I'm telling you, by the end of this year, I'm going to have me a baby in my hand, or I'm going to be good and pregnant. She didn't tell me that either, thank God, because I would have just worried. So it was Halloween. We were at work together. We dressed up. We were at work having a great old time. And I went home, and by the time I got home, I had a picture from her in a message. And it was her holding a pee stick, you know, a pregnancy test, and her finger over her mouth, like shh. So she found out on Halloween day she was pregnant, and that's the first I'd heard in 2 years. Although she had lost more babies since then, but she didn't tell me until after the baby was born. And I was so worried, you guys. I was like, oh God. I was nice. I was like, so excited for you. Congratulations. You know, this is gonna be great. Everything I'd said before, and it wasn't. But I still did it because it's the right thing to do, and you hope. And I wanted to have hope, but I was in my heart, I was like, oh God, I just don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this with her. Because every time she miscarried, it was like 2 months, at least 2 months of her being so down in the dumps. It was hard to be around her. It was hard. And then she just struggled for all them years of going to baby showers and hearing people say, I'm pregnant, when her and her sister, all while they were growing up, her sister C was told her whole life, you don't need to have any babies. Do not have any babies. Do not have any babies, because her diabetes was so bad. Well, she decided to have a baby. What could I do about it? She was married. She went and did all that on her own. But while growing up, I guess the girls would always talk about, because the C would be upset that she kept being advised not to have any children, never get pregnant, and to go ahead and have a medically necessary hysterectomy so it wouldn't happen. And she was like, nope, I've got enough problems not doing that. So her and her sister had made a pact. Don't worry about it. You will retrieve your eggs and I'll be your surrogate and you'll still have a baby. And so they had it worked out that the youngest girl would carry her sister's baby and then, do that. I didn't know nothing about this for years after they had all gotten married. And then it turned out that her sister, who was never supposed to get pregnant, had a baby, and the one that was supposed to carry their babies couldn't stay pregnant. She could get pregnant, she couldn't stay pregnant. And that was heartbreaking to deal with. That was heartbreaking because there was no way C could carry her sister's baby because she wasn't ever, and she was in the hospital from the day she turned 19 weeks all the way up till her baby was born because she was already in preeclampsia and having problems with her diabetes. So there was no way she could do it again. So it was really heartbreaking to watch. So that time when she sent me that, I was like, oh God, I just don't want to do this again. Thank you for this baby, but I really don't want to do it again. And I worried the whole time. I'm not lying to you. I worried the whole time that I had no clue what it was. She went ahead and took the the test to find out what it was and to make sure genetically, because she was high risk, and genetically make sure everything was okay and whatever. And so she found out like really, really early that it was a boy. And I just could not get excited about it. I didn't show it to her, but I was like, oh no, I've been down this road before. We're not doing this again. And she just kept getting big as I worked with her every damn day. And as the days go by, she just kept getting bigger, bigger, bigger. And I think it wasn't until like when she got to 25 weeks that I quit worrying. And I was like, well, I guess we're going to have a baby. But I remember she had gotten sick a couple of times. She got COVID. I was so scared for that baby. I'm going to tell you, I was so scared she was going to lose it and then have to deal with my baby. And that's what your kids forget, right? Your kids are telling you, oh, you're a worry wart. Mom, quit worrying. I'm grown. Okay. Okay, you might be grown, but you forget you're my baby. Just like the baby you're carrying is your baby. Well, you're my baby. And I'm not supposed to worry. Okay. I didn't know there was a switch we could turn on and off. It's annoying when them girls get. My sons don't tell me not to worry. They're just like, Mom's going to be okay. Them girls, Mom, don't worry. Quit being so controlling. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, screw off then. Stay at your own house. Don't tell me your problems. Don't tell me nothing. So I don't have to worry. I'll just make the shit up as I go. But at about 25 weeks is when I was like, well, damn, I think we're having a baby. I didn't tell her that in my heart. I told that in my heart. But I didn't get close like the whole time she was pregnant. Like I was so disconnected because I was so scared of her losing that child and doing all that with her. It's terrible. It's terrible to watch women go through that. Terrible for them. Ozzy says, I watched my grandson be born naturally. We're so close and he will be a C-section. This one will be a C-section. My sister had a C-section also, and she took so much longer to be fine than I did give a natural birth. I've never had a C-section, but I mean, I hear my sister's had both. She's had C-sections and she's given birth naturally. And I asked her, I was like, all right, give me the hard details. And she said, as far as like getting the baby out and all that, she said, C-section hands down, much easier. She said, but recovery time, much harder. I could guess why. But this was more than 30 years ago. I'm sure it's better now. Yeah. I mean, those women are up and I mean, my daughter-in-law always looks great after she comes out of surgery. And she always feels good too. It's amazing to me. My son just said that the other day, and I said the same to him. You'll still be my baby when I'm 95 and you're 70. Yes. It's funny though, because for me, my boys don't overreact to my overreacting. My girls will overreact to my overreacting. I need a t-shirt that says that. Don't overreact to my overreacting. Because that just makes things worse, and then we're cussing each other out. My boys are like, it's all right, Mom. Don't worry about it. And they give me a hug. And girls are sitting across the room saying, what are you worried about? No, they're evil little witches. Your daughter wasn't able to have another baby at first. What do you mean, honey? Wasn't able to have another baby at first. What do you mean? The oldest one, she's the one that was a diabetic at 9 and was, after she hit puberty, her diabetes could not be controlled. Up, down, in, out, it's terrible. So that's why, she went into organ failure a lot sooner than what a lot of people do. So she was never supposed to have a baby because of her diabetes was so brittle. And they just knew it was going to be harder on her body. But she went ahead and got pregnant anyways on her honeymoon. And then, or about a month or two after her honeymoon, I still call it a honeymoon baby because at that point you're still in love. And then my second oldest daughter, it took her 10 years to have a viable baby. Yes, both of my daughters each have one. My oldest daughter has a girl and she is 12. And my youngest daughter has a boy and he just turned 3. And then my sons, so I have 3 sons. My oldest son, his wife is pregnant with their 5th. My middle son just had his 3rd on Christmas Eve. And then my baby child, he's not ready for that at all. C-sections are a huge recovery. Well, I'm going to tell you what, when I got my hysterectomy, I asked my doctor, I was like, looky here. Let me tell you something. I'm going to need to stay awake so I can have a discussion with you. The whole time you're like in my innards, pulling shit out. I was like, and he's like, you cannot stay. This is a major surgery. And I said, you pull babies out of mama's tummies all the time. And he said, but that's not a part of their body. They're actually entities in a body. He said, I'm actually taking out some of your organs. And I was like, I'll be still. My mouth won't, but I'll be still. And my tears won't. I always go to sleep crying. I go to sleep crying. I don't think I wake up crying though. My wife had a C-section with my girls after my son. I'm glad I never had to do that. I'd probably be a wuss. I'm a lot tougher now than I am. I always did good with birth. I just wanted to be left alone. I'm like a wild animal giving birth to the point where don't talk to me, don't look at me, don't talk to me. I'll let you know don't ask me if I'm okay. Don't rub my back. Don't touch me. Act like I'm not here in this little corner. Preferably, I don't even want you in the room with me. I'll let everybody know when I need you. That's how I handle birth. She's going to sleep downstairs and we have everything set up for her when she comes home. That's so sweet. Oh. And my daughter has low lane placenta. She's very worried. She's a big girl. Oh, it's going to be okay. Yeah, I can't even watch. That's one of my daughter's favorite movies, but I won't. I've watched it 1 time, 2 times, and I can't watch Still Magnolias because I feel it too much. And believe me, and I'm not saying it. Oh, woe is me, but my daughter's a lot sicker than Shelby. In fact, it's funny because she'll call me. My daughter calls me Wheezy from Still Magnolias, the mean old biddy. Yeah. That's me. So boys are making up for the girls giving you enough grandkids. I think they're all just in competition. They always want to be better. Well, the 2 oldest boys want to be better than each other. Had a C-section with my last baby and locked myself out of the hospital 12 hours later. Oh, God. Wow. My sister was in the hospital 10 days. Complications was an emergency C-sec. After that, she could never keep a pregnancy again. Wow. Wow. Weezer, yeah, that's what she calls me. I was like, I can't be the what was the mother's name? I loved her, Marilyn. Marilyn. They all said it different. Marilyn. They didn't say Marilyn. They said, how did they say her name? Anyways, I was like, why can't I be her? She was like, because you're nothing like her. That's why. You're just not that mom. Okay. Sorry for you. In fact, I even told my oldest daughter too. because no, I told my second daughter, not my oldest. I told my second daughter, who took 10 years to have a baby, I said, look, you've got until I turn 45 that I will mail in. That's it. Thank you, Rizzo. I knew my girl would know. I said, as long as I'm still healthy, I will carry the baby, my grandchild, up to I'm 45. I said, after that, sorry, I got to take my body back. And you know what? She was contemplating it. But her husband was the one that's going, that just all, I can't get past the fact that, you know, my family's not raunchy. Well, okay, we're raunchy. We are raunchy. There's no way to lie or even try to cover that up. I tried just now. My brain was like, nobody believes you. Stop it. We're raunchy people. So her husband said, I just can't get the thought out of my mind of your mother having my sperm in her womb. That's what he said. And it just made me laugh. Ozzy says, my C-sec was my last, and I tied it all up after that and sold the TV and got me far too. Yeah, Beefcake had himself fixed, like, and I didn't realize you guys, he was on that live with us, right? And I didn't find out until you guys found out that he was upset that he got that done because he wanted more kids, and he knew I was going to say, not with me, dude. Still Magnolias was a true story. It was written by her brother. I did not know that. Hi, Moon Boots. How are ya? How are ya, Moon Boots? This is my backup account. I think someone hid me on the other. I was chatting and it wasn't showing. Well, tell me who you are. Please consider an unhide. Lindley, I was thinking about you the other day. I hope you're okay. Still Magnolias is your favorite. It's a beautiful movie. I just can't do it. I'm scared of it. I'm scared. I was this name before, but yesterday I changed that account name to Moon Boots Chef. Let me look. Hold on. You go into Lionel's, right? Tell me where I've seen you at, Moon Boots. Where have I seen you? It's either been in Lionel's or PCT's. Where has it been, Lubug? My mods will know. Oh, bless you, Lindley. Having to listen from the damn naked bushes with my onion and her onion head in a robe, y'all. Thank you, Miss Barbara. You always do. Oh, and you have got to watch it again. I'm not sure how you got into my algorithm. Because we're awesome. Because we hit the thumbs up and the thumbs down. We really don't care. Moonboots 165. Let me take a look at it. My mods would remember if they blocked you. So let me give me a second, guys. Hold on. Let me get out of this just a second. Let's do a pause for the cause, you guys, while I'm looking this up really quick. Let's do a pause for the cause. This says to hit the like. I don't care which one you hit. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Let's go. Hit it. I will BRB.
Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. We're bastards and we're gits. We're wankers and we're shits. But sometimes that is just one word that absolutely fits. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. a fact that any Catholic won't deny. I once shagged my girlfriend's sister. My gran's dead, I've never missed her. Ooh, what a cunt. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes.
Seriously, Steve, fuck off.
Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. See the beggar passing by, make a kitty cry. You're in your father's will, when's he gonna fucking die? Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Don't say you're not, you cunt, cause that's a lie.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
Get rid of the cunt, says Dad.
Cunt. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. We're bastards and we're gits. We're wankers and we're shits. But sometimes that is just one word that absolutely fits.
All right, I'm back. I did see it. I see it in the thing. You said I had 2 Moon Boots accounts, this one and my main. Yesterday I changed my main account. It was Moon Boots the Chef. So the hidden one will be Moon Boots the Chef. Yes. I don't want to halt the show. Oh, we're just shitting around here. Just shitting around. We don't mind. I don't know who hid that account or why they hid it. I don't really get involved in that. The mods do. So something must have been said that they didn't agree with or they didn't like. Were you rude? Were you rude? Trivial tomorrow, Anne's place. All right, so there's a couple. Lindley, big hugs to you, girlfriend. I was thinking about you yesterday, though. Really, I was just wondering how you were doing because we're both Indiana sisters, and I was thinking about Diamond Lucidity. Moon Boot says the thing is, I thought when I was in the room everything was good and well. Well, I'll tell you what. Can we just use this one here? This Moon Boots 165 account, and you're welcome here right now, and we'll just let the other one go because I don't pay attention to who they block. They watch the chat, and I don't question them about that. So I don't want to block anything because obviously I don't know what's going on. And if they block someone on accident, they'll come right into this and say, "Oh my God, somebody help!" You know, I blocked somebody on there. Wait, hold on. I'm logging out of this. Not using this one here. Okay, I understand. I understand. Thank you for coming in, though. All right, guys. I don't know what happened there. I don't even remember seeing Moon Boots the Chef, but I wouldn't know. I don't know. I'm usually just running a chat or running a panel. Yep, still tomorrow for Lolly. That's right. Anyways, I don't remember seeing that name. Yeah, I don't remember it either. I've seen it either in Lionel's or PCT's. Those are the only 2 chats I've been in. Oh, wait, I was in Sierra's the other night when I was working. I went in and said hi, and then I listened to her live while I was working. But you weren't live yesterday. No, that's right. I wasn't live. I haven't been live since. Oh, wait a minute. You're right, Lulu. I haven't been live since Thursday. And Maggie was live earlier today in America. Maybe, I don't know where Moon Boots is from. If they're over in the UK, it would have been yesterday to them. So it would have been had it been a mod from whoever it was. It was very recent because it was at the bottom of a 500,000 list of blocks. I was racking my brain why I didn't see you yesterday. Lindley! Love you so much, girlfriend. Prayers to all who are in need. Thank you for the 13-month membership. Thank you to everybody who's a member here. I appreciate it so much. We made just enough money this month to pay StreamYard. So thank you. I said I was changed my screen name yesterday. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, because I haven't been live. Oh, I haven't been live since Thursday. If you're in the States, last time Leanie's stream I saw, it was her showing some riots or something. Are you in the UK? I think Moon Boots is in the UK because he might have seen Maggie yesterday. Oh, you're in Texas. Oh, well, howdy, partner. He came in on a vertical live. Okay, that makes sense then. Yeah. When we were showing the riots, we were vertical. That's right. So I can tell you now what happened. I know what happened. When I did that vertical live, I mean, I think I only had 2 mods working that night, and one of them was Lou. And oh my God, that poor girl. I brought a lot of trash into my chat that night. Not on purpose, but when you go vertical, you're just going to get it. And I had to beg MJD to stay. And so you probably did get blocked accidentally. I will be happy to unblock the other one. Yes, absolutely. I'm glad we got that. I guarantee you that's what happened. Because the vertical lives, especially when there was, God, how many people in that one at once, Lulu? I felt so bad for her, but it had to be done. It had to be done. Let me unblock that one for you, because now I know what happened. So I'm glad you stayed and talked to me about it a minute. Sometimes there's just misunderstandings and you get through them. But I'll be happy to unblock it. I'm sure the mods won't mind at all. So it happens, sometimes just, oh man, that was a crazy live. I do feel bad putting Lou through that. Yeah, let me unblock that. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. That is what we are in here. Hey, Riti. Hold on. All right, let me find it again really quick. Oh. There it is. All right, Moon Boots the Chef. There you go. I unblocked it, so if you need to switch names, go ahead and switch names. You are unblocked. And we're sorry about that. It happens sometimes. We want you to be a part of us if you want to be. I remember that live that went nuts. It's pretty rare to get a troll after troll like that. I know, Lulu. I do feel really bad when we do something controversial like that. I mean, even if all of you mods are here on that night, I know it's a struggle for you guys, and I'm so sorry, but sometimes those, I have to handle shit. Because a lot of times when I do go vertical, we'll get 1, 2, 3, stragglers in there, and then you guys just boot them out. But when it's controversial, like the riots and stuff like that, oh yeah, you guys are going to have a lot of work to do. I'm so sorry. Don't make us sorry about it though. Oh yeah, it was wild, but it was a good live. It was a good live. All right, I did receive some shit from it, and I would have received more shit and more hate if Lulu wasn't there with her little finger going goodbye, 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 and goodbye, and you can goodbye, and you go fuck off over there, and you go fuck off over there, and you fuck off right over there, and come back and fuck off again, and then fuck off over there again. I mean, it's terrible. You like popping trolls? Oh, can you guys believe it's already almost, we are at the end of June. I feel like who was I talking to? Lunchy. I was talking to Lunchy, and you know, talking about just our lives and a lot how they're paralleling, and they've been paralleling and things and just hardships and stuff. And if you guys remember when we did our New Year's Eve live, I remember just being so like hopeful, even though I'm not that person. I always dread the new year because I'm scared of what's going to happen in it. But I mean, I was with you guys. We were having fun. I just felt blessed for the friendships and for this channel. And so I was really optimistic going into, that's the first one I've ever been that optimistic in. And we were all just like, we've got to have a better year. I mean, every mod went through something. Most of the faithful subs, the OGs here, were going through something. And we were just like, this is our year, you guys. We're going to have a great year. And oh no, I feel like this one's been more terrible than last year. Yes, Sack Lulu. Hi, Anointed Praise. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Extreme parallel, yeah. And here we are again in the same, it feels like the same season, but we get through it. You know, you get through it. I don't know what we're supposed to learn, but I'm keeping my ears open, so hopefully I do learn something. I don't know what I'm supposed to learn other than I know I'm the next generation to get old. Damn it. I even told Beefcake that. I was like, this is also sad. I was like, but I'm going to tell you something sadder. And he's like, oh God, is there something sadder? And I was like, oh, it's so sad. And he said, what? And I said, well, we're the next generation. This is all going to happen to. And he's like, oh God, that's sad. I was like, I know it's sad. We get through it together. It's horrible and such is life, right? And when it prays says perilous times, perilous times. It's terrible. Yes, it is horrible. My daughter's school is full-time. They get 5 weeks off in the summer. She only has one left, goes back to work 7/4. Wow. We're on what's called a year-round schedule too. But these kids here used to have like, let's see, June, July. So they used to have 8 weeks off. They don't anymore. They have, or no, I'm sorry. They used to have 10 weeks off for the summer. They don't anymore. They have 8 weeks. Yeah, 8 weeks off. No, 7 weeks off. And but they get a longer fall break and the same Christmas break, which is like 2.5 weeks, but they get a 2-week fall break and a 2-week spring break. And y'all, I loved it so much more because I don't know about how your kids were, but by the time 3 weeks were over in the summer, my kids were done. They were bored half to death. And I was done. I was like, I just can't entertain you people anymore. You little people. I can't do it. Aussie True Crime, there's an article in the Daily Mail about To Wong Cemetery. You might want to tell hubby. It is said to be haunted by a woman vampire. Eerie place, apparently. Sounds interesting. Yeah, go do that and then let me watch. Meaning you have so much wisdom. Tell us how it's going to end all this mess. How it's going to end is Jesus is going to part the clouds. We're out. That's how it's going to end, just like the back of the book says. That's what I believe. Completely, wholeheartedly, 100%. The back of the book. It seems like kids are on school holidays every other week here. I hate it, as the town I work in is a holiday town and we get all the city idiots and it's just so busy. Yeah, listen, I love the fall for many reasons, and one of them is the quietening that happens. You know what I mean? Like, kids go back to school, it's quieter on the streets and stuff like that. I like it. We get 8 weeks, but now I get all the weeks. Well, there you go, because our Rizzo is retired. Leanie, I had 2 molars at the back of my mouth cut out 2 days ago and had the best experience this time. Didn't even feel the needle sting. The specialist dentist was the best, and ooh, so cute. Oh, so you got to look at a dreamy man the whole time. You just got lost in dreamy man. Oh, sounds lovely, Anne. Wish I was 30 years younger. Or he was 30 years older. Back of the book, Jesus wins. That's right, Lulu. Hello, Eric. Hope to see you. I didn't mean to say hope. I saw the word hope, and I was reading the same time I was saying it. I was meant. Good to see you. Do you think the time zone now is the Antichrist rising up in the Middle East? You know, I did some research on that about the Antichrist, just with Beefcake. I don't know how it came. It came up from my dad. We had a Bible study the last time he came over at the dinner table, and man, it lasted 3 hours, and then we could have just kept going but it just got late and we were tired, and Beefcake was the only one that had to work the next morning. And it's amazing how you can read your Bible and for years and years and years, and then one day you read it again or read a passage again that you've read your whole life, and there was something in it you never really realized was there. And for me, it was the Antichrist. And how many times it had mentioned in the Bible, because, you know, I've always said the Antichrist, like there's only one. And that's not true. There are Antichrists before the Antichrist, right? So I think that we are living in a time of some of the Antichrists. Yes, absolutely. I think through the years, there have been Antichrists, like Hitler, Mussolini, things like that. Yeah, so I think there are Antichrists leading up to the. I'm so glad it was so much better. I go to the dentist tomorrow and the spine doctor. Oh, Riz, let me know. Let me know how that goes. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. Don't know when the next high or low is coming with a sharp curve. Oh, Lindley, girlfriend, I so get that. It's such a scary, very vulnerable place to be in, where you're just waiting on the other shoe to drop. You just know it's coming. You're scared. You're anxious. Oh, God. Girlfriend, I feel you on that, and I pray for you. I hate it. I hate being like that. But it's just how my brain works. So I feel for you, and I pray that you are shocked by more blessings than shoes. Blessings and shoes. I always keep my eyes closed when the dentist is in my face. Me too. I keep my eyes closed, and whether I'm hurting or not, I make this sound. All right, listen in. I make this sound. And he's like, "Are you feeling that?" I was like, "No." Why are you making them noises then? Because I'm scared I'm gonna feel something. There's a fellow around at the moment claiming to be the I'm gonna torture this Lou. Mahdi. He is half Jew, half Arab. Barbara, maybe tomorrow I will just stare into her eyes for shits and giggles. No, there were and will be lots of Antichrist. Right. But I feel like I'm in no way a scholar or an intellect when it comes to the Bible, but I think I know enough to have built my faith enough and hopefully give some hope for other people. But I'm amazed that I'm 55 years old and have been taught the Bible my whole life and lived my life hopefully. Now I fail God every day. Do not look at me and try to live a Christian life like I live it. You know what I mean? Because I fail God every day. And I do things and I definitely say things and I am things that go against his word. But I'm cognitive of it, right? I just can't believe that there are still scriptures that I've read over and over. And I'm like, wait a minute, why didn't I ever get that? It doesn't say the Antichrist. It says there are many Antichrists. I just can't believe it. Nero, Hitler, many will come. Right. And it didn't hit me until just a couple weeks ago. Weirdest thing. Eric says, I'm reading an autobiography on Billy Graham. I have a line of people from church and my mom who wants to borrow it after I'm done. That's nice. Got to keep herself entertained. That's right, Lizzo. Especially when you're sitting in the dentist chair. Oh, God. I got a doctor appointment tomorrow, too. I'm super excited. I know I know when he looked at who's coming to see him tomorrow, he was so happy to see my name on the list. Darlene from Down Under. Hello, girl. So good to see you. My dentist has a TV with beautiful scenery to look at. I don't think I could. See, that's the thing, though. When I get panicked, I can't concentrate. And looking at a dentist chair makes me panic. So I'm already well into it by the time he's walked in there. There's no way I could concentrate on a screen. No way I could concentrate on music. There's no way I could concentrate on anything other than what he's fixing to stick in my mouth. There's a woman here in Turkey that claims she is Jesus, and so many believe her. Yeah, those are all Antichrists. Not all bad, just some expected moments, good and bad. Well, that's a beautiful little mixture then, right? Appreciate the mountaintops for the valleys. But you were so full of wisdom. I don't think so. I think I'm just opinionated. Although my mom did tell me, but I did the whole, Mom, you're supposed to say that because I'm your daughter. You're not supposed to. And she's like, well, I don't tell no lies. Same thing I tell mine. I really don't tell people lies about stuff. I just won't say anything. What's the point lying about her? But my mom used to tell me that I was smart and that my brain thought differently. And that's what I always tell Baby Child too. I was like, he sent me a rough draft of his speech that he's got to give tomorrow to the board. And I was like, damn, boy, you did not get that from you. That's not I don't have them words in my vocabulary. I just don't. And the way that, he writes so like he's been writing columns or something for years. He does not get that from me. Didn't get it because you weren't meant to yet. You're right, Rizzo. You're right. What is the Armageddon? Oh gosh, we need to listen to Lulu talk about all that again. The Battle of Armageddon is the last battle I think that'll be fought on Earth. Lindley May was a trouble month for me. I had anxiety. So many things happened. I had problems sleeping and eating. God bless you, sunshine. I hope June has looked a lot better. Oh, don't be sorry for asking questions. I love it. Darlene says I had 11 teeth out in a chair. At once, Darlene? Did you have 11 teeth out all at once? Were you scared half to death? Did they put you to sleep? Oh, God. Lily says, Sunshine, you are not alone, my friend. Sunshine says, I couldn't even drive. I was afraid something was going to happen. Oh, that waiting for that anticipation of something bad is just a terrible feeling. I don't know what's worse, the actual act or the waiting for the act. I don't know. It's terrible what our minds put us through. Armageddon is a place in Megiddo. Darlene says, yes, I was awake, but off boat and smashed them. But I fell off boat and smashed them. Wow. Ouch. It was a war that will be waged by Satan with the people of God in the valley of Megiddo. I had impact wisdom teeth removed in the chair. Was absolutely horrific. I'm still traumatized. I'm still traumatized too from every time I sat in the chair. I'm scared of them. I would rather have a child beginning to end totally natural without and never have to sit in a dentist chair again. At Sunshine, Rizla says anxiety is horrible. Sometimes when I have anxiety that bad, I have to say out loud, stop, and it makes my brain refocus. I think because of hearing something audible instead of in my mind. Wow, that's pretty smart. Anne says, I had a horrible nightmare last night. Drink the devil was in love with me. I don't know what that meant, but I don't even want to know. That is a little nutty. Hi, Zeus. Zeus Phillips, good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Welcome. I still got my wisdom teeth and I'm 50. I have all but one. I'm sorry. I've got, yeah, I said that right. Yeah, I've only had one taken out. That's because the dim ass doctor, check this out. So I go get this tooth pulled right. They wanted me to have a, what do you call that thing? Root canal? I was like, oh, negative. No, I'm not doing it. Just take the tooth out. I won't miss it. I got 50 million of them in there. Because all my wisdom teeth, except for one, are perfectly in place, right? They just came down, they lined up, everything was good. So after spending, I don't know how long in there pulling that tooth, he said, do you want me to take that wisdom tooth out too? He said, when I was taking the other tooth out, it got really, really loose. It's just like hanging there. And I just looked at him probably with this dumbass look on my face. And I was like, well, what the hell you want me to do with it? If I'm going to swallow it, then you probably should just take it out. What kind of question is that? Oh, in other words, you want me to pay because you're extracting a tooth that you loosened up in my head somehow that was perfectly in line with my teeth. Oh, I get it. Okay. That's what it was. Whereas it only takes 17 seconds for a thought to become fixed and cause anxiety. As soon as that thought comes, get rid of it. I chalk it all up to the news I saw this week, bombings and riots, etc. Yeah, it didn't help. Yeah, all that stuff that has been going on over in Israel and Iran. It's especially people who are faith-based people. You know, we're paying attention. We're paying attention to what's going on, and it's scary because we don't. The Bible's not clear as to if we're going to live through that or not. I have my own thoughts on it, like everybody does. Yeah, they did that too with me. I'm like, yeah, nah, take it out. Yeah, I ended up paying $149 extra. I'm like, thanks, dude. Right, Lindley. Right. It's a damn eclipse. That's what happened to all of us. Oh, wow. That's true, Rizzo. It can be a million thoughts per second sometimes. A million thoughts, a million prayers. Prayers. It's a cycle. You're right. How does you, y'all? And they say we only use our brain like a portion of our brains. If that's true, I don't need my whole brain because my brain already does some funky stuff. I don't need more to work with. I'm good. But imagine if we used if they say we're only using a portion of it, if we used our whole brain. Oh my God. People like us that deal with the anxiety of things and overthinking and obsessive thinking and, making up shit as we go because there's not enough to worry about in the day. There's not enough hospitals. We'd have to open, according to Leany, sanatorium. Oh my God, now there's a thought. I could quit paying StreamYard and I could pay. We'll have to do a bigger membership to hang out in the sanatorium, but we could just pay for our own building. And all of us live together at the sanatorium. Oh, that's perfect. Maggie will be the first in. Can you imagine my brain is all cuckoo with anxiety prayers? A 1,000,001 song lyrics. Yeah. Sunshine says, I had to stop watching the riots. Then my daughter tells me they are taking my granddaughters to Universal Studios in Southern California next week. Protest! Peacefully. Barbara says, I need to get to the dentist. My teeth have been ruined by having oxygen all the time, and all the radiation I've had there, cracking and chipping. I had one break off. Oh goodness, last week I got the hiccups, y'all. Yeah, Miss Barbara, I'm scared too. I've got teeth like really, really strong teeth, but my teeth are messed up because I had those taken out. And then so there's a little gap in them. And but that's been there for years and years and years. And then just the discoloration from my inhalers. But I remember my doctor, not a dentist. Like I was having a physical for school and he was listening to my tummy and he said, let me see your teeth. And he looked at my teeth. And he looked over at my mom and he said, you've got to get her in to the dentist for some fluoride treatments. And my mom was like, what? And he said, she needs some treatments on her teeth because with the medication that she's on, it's just going to cripple her teeth. And it didn't cripple her. I still have really, really strong teeth. In fact, that guy that wiggled out my frickin' wisdom tooth, he said it was because he said, you got a strong jawbone. You're hanging on to these teeth and it takes a long time to get them out. If he said, I don't want to break. He said, I could break the tooth, take it out piece by piece. He said, but I don't want to do that. That's harder healing time. You mess up stuff. And he said, I'm trying to get it out without stitches. Right on. Lizzo, I would love to hear you talk on Armageddon. Do you know when you did it? Barbara, that's the state of all my teeth. That's why they're removing them bit by bit. If I ever get them removed, I'm getting them all done at once because they got one more shot at me. That's it. If y'all have Prime on TV, a good series to watch is Fallout. Wow, really? It sounds like the end of the world kind of thing. Is that what it is? No, Appraisal will try to find you the one with Lulu in it and tag you in it in the next few days. Yeah, it was so good. So good. We do need to do an end time though one. That would be a really good live to do as an end time live. Barbara wants to know, what are you doing to replace them, Anne? I will have to remember that, Lily. I think I'm going to get all my teeth pulled, and I just want to get dentures. Never want to have to go back. And I don't want those. I don't want, what do you call them? What do you call those things where they put the metal in your mouth and then the teeth like screw on or something? Implants. I don't want to do implants. That scares me. Yes, post-apocalyptic. I would like to watch that. That does sound good. Once my removed, false teeth put in the same day, was eating 24 hours later. That's what I'm talking about. I've still got 13 to be removed. Then we will do implant first, 4 on top front, 4 on the bottom, then dentures on the sides. MJD. What goes between the past and the future? It sounds a lot like, what was that? Oh, did you ever watch Jericho? There was only like 1 or 2 seasons, and then it just got stopped. Oh, I was so mad. That was such a good show. Between the past and the future like that, or the past and the present. Oh, I don't know why they took off that show. Everybody I talked to that watched it loved it. Veneers. Now that's putting stuff over the front of my teeth, right? I don't want to do that either. I'm going to get dental work done. All this shit's coming out, and I'm putting dentures in, calling it a day. Snap-ons. Oh, snap on and snap off. That sounds like that could be a lot cheaper. Not doing implants. That scares the hell out of me. Yes, it would, Leanie. It would be awesome to do an end time live. So next week is my father-in-law's surgery. Anointed praise. Let me get through this and my father-in-law's surgery and see if I can schedule one, because there's nothing more I love talking about, really. Oh, I know I would like it then. I'll ask Beefcake if he watches it, because we watch 2 different things, you know. When you know, you know. Yo, I've got these sores on my arms, and I can't freaking stop picking them. I was embarrassed. I wore short sleeves today, and you can. I've got 1, 2. I've got 3 little tiny sores that I just keep picking. My sister had implants on the top, paid $50,000. Oh no! She hates them and pops them off except when she wants to eat. No, see, I won't be doing. No, I've got other things to spend money on. Not that I would. $50,000 is a lot of money. I misunderstood. Was wondering who would be watching an M Time live, as it would be the end. I get it, girl. That would be good. I'd have to get Lulu to come up here, because I think she's very knowledgeable when it comes to biblical stuff. And just doing end time. I would absolutely love it. Love, love, love. And I'll schedule it out so that, you know, people can make sure your bells are clicked so I could ring them. So I'd be loving to ring them bells, y'all. All right, I'll BRB. I'm going to get some more coffee. Go pee. You guys go pee. My God, it's already 2 o'clock in the morning. Maybe I should just end this. I got to be back up for a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Damn it. After tomorrow, I'm done. You guys, I'm not doing anything this weekend. I'm not doing nothing. Do you hear me? 0. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not putting a bra on. I'm not putting underwear on. I'm putting a pair of loose sweatpants on and a t-shirt, and I'm not doing shit. I'm not. I'm done. I'm done. I'm burn up. I'm just overbaked. My brain has officially had it. And I need to prepare and get myself revitalized for whatever comes to me next week from the surgery. Right now it is, let me take a look, see. Oh, I didn't know it did that. I have a little night light. What? It like softens it. How sweet is that? Nobody cares. Okay. It's 75, mostly clear right now. It was 95 today. Over at my in-laws live an hour and something from me, so it might have been just a few degrees off. On Saturday when we were out at my daughter's house, which is an hour and a half the other way, it was 100 degrees. And by the time we got home, I live an hour and a half away, it was only 90 degrees. Can you believe I'm saying only 90 degrees? Oh, so all of our dear, dear Aussie friends are freaking freezing and we're burning up. Revelations is terrifying. I agree. And it's so hard to understand. RC knows his stuff even more than I do. The back of the book is quite terrifying. You really need to be prepared to touch on really scary shit. Yeah. I mean, I don't think we have to touch on all of it. I think we just do the signs of the times, maybe. Are we going to shut up too? RC, you can suck it. You suck it. And so she's going to slap your mouth. Sunshine says, I've been busy washing all the bedding in the bedrooms nobody ever used. I am hoping that family will visit this summer. I don't think I've ever said that a day in my life. I have never a day in my life said, I hope family visits me. Oh, that's a different concept altogether. It has been hotter than Satan's asshole here. That is the truth, Lindley. We didn't get no lead up. And I knew that was going to happen. I knew we were going to go from 40 degrees to like 80 degrees. I knew it. I knew it. How many Florida and we are burning up. Listen, all of the states are out of whack right now. Everybody's out of whack as far as the weather goes. RC, you shut the hell up. Nobody asked you anything. I have lived in Idaho for 8 years, and the only one that has visited is my mom. Wow. But you're blessed to have your mom. Ann says, forgive me, RC. Thought you were saying it to me. RC, she's still going to slap you in the mouth. I don't understand any of Revelation. I don't understand a lot of it too, Anointed Praise, to tell you the truth, because it's all in parable kind of talk. But like I said, I went looking specifically about the Antichrist and found things I never knew. I so love winter. Even my coworkers saying, geez, you really love winter, don't you? I'm like, yes, ma'am. Why would I fight my battles when I got friends? RC would say you need new glasses. See, he's still being a little brat. Darlene, do you work on a boat? Is it a fishing boat? I want to know. Anne says you need a slap or two. I'll get the right side. You get the left side. Yes, she would have came back this year, but needs to get her real ID. My mom turned 87 last week. Oh, God bless her. God bless you. Rizzo says, Anointed praise, a lot of metaphors or things we have never seen, things they saw and could only describe best they could because they didn't know what it was or didn't have a name for it. Right. Lulu says, I'm still waiting for my free holiday to Vegas. I need to become Mrs. RC for the entirety of a trip, but there was no mention of consummating it. So I am still gung-ho for it. Rizzo says, in her opinion, I agree with that. And they had a different language, right? And the Bible wasn't written in our language either. And we have to remember that, you know, the way that it's been translated through the years is not going to make sense to us. I think it made a lot more sense to them back in the times. But, you know, I think that's what it is. It just is not going to make it's kind of like listening. So, like, people from Mexico would say, how they say it in their language would be like, I want chocolate white, but we say I want white chocolate. But when it comes out in their wording, chocolate blanco, you know what I mean? So people say the words backwards. So I think that's what's going on there too, that their sentences are kind of reading weird because they put words in different places. That's the only thing I noticed. That's the thing that makes most sense to me. At the same time, so his head won't know which way to go, Lydia. And it translates many times. That's right. I've been in church all my life and didn't know there were many antichrists. Learned something new from you tonight, Leanie. I just learned that 2 nights ago. And you know what? I was raised in the church. I was raised in the Bible. I raised my kids in the Bible. I still, you know, believe wholeheartedly, not living my life right, but I believe in the Word of God, and I didn't know either. I'm behaving okay, maybe a little bit. Rizzo, they are always translated from the original text, though, and we also have the Holy Spirit to help us understand what we need to know. Right, and I think that is where the truth lies and where the education lies, is what we need to know. Like it was said earlier, that I found it in the time that I needed to know it about the Antichrist. So that is so true. There are times in our lives that we don't need it, so we're not going to get it. You know, kind of like we tell our kids, our 6-year-olds who are like, Mommy, where the babies come from? Ah, well, okay. You know what I mean? You have to pick the right time. And the same thing goes for God's word. We're his kids, and he'll let us know in the right time. Yeah, and we have to pray for understanding before reading, I believe. Yes, absolutely. Hebrew is right to left as the entire east of the world. The Western world is left to right. Gotcha. I believe all these cult leaders fooling people are part of those Antichrist leading. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say it. When it's needed to be revealed to you. Right. We need the Spirit to give us revelation of what we need to know. He is a good God and gives us what we need when we need it. Everything we do in Vegas stays in Vegas, Lulu, including me. That's what RC has to say. RC sure is hard on the women who love him. I'm going to tell you that right now. Sure is hard on the women who love him. All right, guys, check it out. It's 2 o'clock in the morning here. I have got to be back up at 8. I do want to try to get some sleep in. Got to get up, shower, do my thing. So I'm going to shut this one out. It's been a 2-hour live. I thank you guys for being here with me. I hope to be able to hang out more. I love you guys so much. Thank you to the mods that always have our backs in this channel right here. Thank you to even the people in the naked bushes. Appreciate you be here. Hit the thumbs up, the thumbs down. It matters not. Just let the algorithm know you were here. And a big thank you to the members of this channel who help pay StreamYard every month. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you, and I will see you next time right here. Until then, be good or be good at it. If you're not good at it, you know what to do. All right, guys. Love you. Bye.